To lead that pack is General Muhoozi Aswalide.
Precious Jesus.
Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. I'm going to ask General Muhoozi Aswalide and his wife Charlotte to lay their wreath first, and then after that I'll ask the General.
Be with me to the end. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust Him, how I've proved Him on and on. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus.
Let's give him a round of applause.
For grace to trust Him more.
And before you sit down, General Aswalide, you have another 2 wreaths to give out, to lay. The next one is from Cedric's friends. What you don't know is that General Aswalide, and I can tell you this without fear of contradiction, lost his best friend in Cedric, Babu Dilima. He lost his closest friend. So this is a very, very big loss. Come on, guys, where are you?
That thou with me wilt be with me too.
And what you see are Cedric's brothers, broken men who have lost an irreplaceable friend.
I trust Him, how I've proved Him on.
You see, each of those guys there can claim that Cedric was their best friend.
Jesus,
and that would be fine because he was each and every one of them's best friend. But more so, General Aswalide, this was a very difficult loss for him. And do pray for him as he goes through this grief.
'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take Him at His word. Just
one last thing, General. One last one.
His promise.
PLU, if you don't give them a chance to lay a wreath, it will be an issue. Cedric Dilima Babu was one of the vice chairmen of the Patriotic League Uganda, which is again led by General Muhoozi Aswalide.
How I've proved Him more and more. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus. Oh, for
and where you see Muhoozi, you see Balam.
to try.
The Honorable Balam Baruhaga is also there. And that is the PLU fraternity. Ladies and gentlemen, with that we come to the end of our laying of wreaths.
Oh, now hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem.
And I'm here today to speak about Cedric's medical course, both as a cardiologist and as a lifelong friend of Cedric's family. I would like to start by thanking Auntie Olive, by thanking Captain and thanking Cedric's family for entrusting me to be part of Cedric's care and for speaking about it. I've spoken a few times already about Cedric's condition from a medical perspective, so I won't repeat what I said before exactly. And while the facts are clear, it's understandably more difficult for many people to understand why. And as Alan said, how did we get here? Why did it happen so quickly? Why wasn't it picked up sooner? Why did someone so vibrant and so full of life get taken away from us in such a short period of time? These questions are all valid. They're born from immense grief and deep sorrow and fear. Fear for our own health and fear for the loved ones leaving us too soon. Medicine is not a scientific practice only, it's also a spiritual one. We often pursue exact answers and explanation to make sense of medical situations. But what seems clear in theory is not always straightforward in practice. Life is not an exact science. I can't say for certain that Cedric's final outcome would have been different if he was treated elsewhere or if his condition was picked up earlier. Only God knows that. Uncertainty is the enemy of science, but it's the foundation of our faith. In Cedric's case, these are the facts. He had a rare condition, which the doctors believe is called hemochromatosis, a disorder where the body absorbs and stores too much iron. Over time, the iron builds up in our vital organs, including our heart, where it causes progressive and often silent damage. Cedric's body, resilient and strong as it was, had compensated for a very long time, and by the time he became critically unwell, his heart was already in an advanced stage of failure. Heart failure, even in the most advanced of medical settings, can be a very difficult condition to manage. The medical team, both at King Faisal and Aga Khan, worked closely with his family and did everything possible to try and reverse the damage, with medication, with procedures, and with the best supportive care. But ultimately, Cedric's heart was too weak to withstand all of the treatment. To those who stood by him in his final moments, I know the weight you carry. I also know what a gift it was to be present. God gave you all the chance to surround Cedric with love, to ease his passing, and to walk with him to the edge of his life. And now today, we are all here to finally put him to rest. Cedric is with God, no longer in pain, no longer bound by the limitations of this world. So let us not be overcome with fear or uncertainty. Medicine has its limit, but faith does not. While we may never fully understand, we trust in the God who does. May Cedric rest forever in peace and in power.
Thank you very much, and that's my kind of doctor, one who combines science and faith. Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much, Dr. Amanda Mbonye. I'd like the cousins to come up as quickly as possible. As you can tell, the clouds are forming and it might rain, and we still have a way to go. So let's go as quickly as we can. Uncles, get ready. The uncles will be Captain Roy and Uncle Sunday to speak. Are the cousins ready, or should we move on? Yes, Don, come up and speak. Josepha. You have a whole of 93 seconds. Those are actually his siblings, and
fellow mourners and all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Cedric has so many cousins. Please, those who can, please join me. I see Beaver, Pai, Edgar, Sheila, like that. If you can, please come and join us. So the cousins asked me to read their tribute to Cedric. Ndirima, today your cousins gathered here with me, united in love, held together by a memory. It's difficult to speak about you in the past years, so I chose instead to speak to you. I can almost hear your voice. Donut, followed by that long laughter, familiar pattern of questions. What's up? How are you, man? All good? As family, where are you? Come join me. You made sure I was okay, asking, what can I get you? A drink? You looked out after me for all of us. I remember when we were kids, hardly ever indoors, you'd run to Lugogo for tennis as soon as Auntie drove out. Sometimes even walked to Sheraton for an afternoon swim, despite Auntie would scold us for spending at what she hadn't planned. At home, we didn't have toys. At home, we didn't have toys, but we had Nisha. Curious Nisha was a shoe polish. You, Chief, had the solution when she started throwing up. Put her under the tap and open her mouth. Water followed. Auntie Roland saved the situation. Quick with an idea, always in charge, said you led the way. I followed you into tennis, into life. You introduced me to all your friends, and what a gift that was. You were generous in every way. Even when cousins would call the whole restaurant laughing, eating, simply laughing, you never allowed us to pay. And you loved your children. You spoke of them with pride, and today I see what you saw. Amani, big, kind, and soft-hearted. Killian, Dad's shadow, strong and driven, already swinging the racket. Shemla the bull, a joy to others, always smiling. Your time with us was full. You made space for everyone. Time for each of your cousins, a seat for everyone, and a joy in every gathering. And still, your last visit lingers in my head. That day at home, just as talking, during my last visit, you mentioned I should stay longer. You wanted me to extend my stay. We spoke of family, of future, and of Killian's dream for tennis. Cedric loved God. He had unwavering faith, and truly walked with God. In the quiet of his strength, of your spirit, and the kindness of your hands, you lived your beliefs with authenticity and grace. I remember those moments at the Aga Khan Hospital when your room became a sanctuary, not just once, but continually. A testament of your faith you carried and inspired in others. We prayed in waiting rooms and at your bedside because where you were, God's presence was near. You lived James chapter 2, verse 14 to 20. Not just as words on the page, but as a heartbeat of your life. Your faith moved with action of how you served and loved and gave. You understood what it meant to love, not just in the word or speech, but in deed and truth. As 1 John chapter 3, 18 teaches. To you, love wasn't abstract. It was how you lived. You loved without question. That is where a child of God, fashioned in his image, as Genesis 1:27 says, and blessed as declared as 28, to be fruitful, to lead, and to leave a mark. God blessed you with gifts, talent, and skills, and you multiply them with integrity and humility. Through you, others found faith, strength, and even joy in suffering. Your life was a sermon. Your legacy was a living memory. Though we miss you beyond words, we know where you are, in the arms of one you love the most. Final at peace and fully whole. Thank you, Cedric, for showing us what it means to believe, to love, and to live with purpose. Till we meet again.
That must have been very difficult for John to read. Let's give him a round of applause. I'm now going to invite the uncles, Uncle Sunday and Captain Roy, to make their speeches. In the interest of time, I ask that we keep the speeches as tight as possible. I'm going to start with you, Captain Roy, and then Uncle Sunday will come up next. And has been the case for most of Cedric's life. Captain Kalnan is never too far away.
All protocol observed. I'm here with Uncle Nyarwaya, is it? Uncle Nyarwaya is supposed to be. I've heard all the wonderful speeches about my son, because I call him my son, and he's my son. I don't call him was my son, I say he's my son, and he will continue to be my son. My son, Cedric, was a wonderful person who rarely spoke to me, but when he called, we had wonderful conversations, and I thank him for that. However, I've heard all the speeches about how good Cedric was and so on and so forth. What did he teach us? What has he taught us? What are we? Are we comparing ourselves to Cedric? Are we trying to learn from Cedric? Are we trying to have a life that Cedric had rather than talk about him, how wonderful, how this? How has he affected us personally? And I think we should look at that. He was a very good tennis player, as they say. And I think tennis is a wonderful game, a game of fairness. My friend here, Jack, my brother, was a very good tennis player. He beat me sometimes. Cedric played a game which I think is a very fair game. Tennis, you don't threaten your opponent, like boxing, for example. You go to a court, you play your tennis, and after the game, you go and congratulate your opponent. And you say, well done, game well done. And it's a game where we don't cheat. I remember we had a man in Nigeria, Jack and I, was called Kashap. Every time he hit a ball, he would say, you hit a ball against him, he say, out. Say, wow. Everything was out, out, out. And we said, how do we play with this guy? So you had to change your game to play straight into the court so that he can't say it was out. And this is what we should be doing, I think, remembering Cedric. Cedric never said out, out, out. It's everything was in and everything was a game and a fair game. So I'm saying that we should, all of us, learn through tennis, and a game maybe we should all look at and say, can it form my life? Can it make me a better person? And Cedric made a lot of people better people. And I would like to thank him for that game of tennis, and I would like to thank Jack here, who played with, I think, at one time with Cedric, although Cedric was a much better player.
Oh, was his mentor.
And he says he was his mentor. I'd love everybody to emulate him rather than talk about him. And that would make us much better people. Thank you very much.
Mujja kunsonyiwa kanjogereko mu Luganda katono kubanga olulimi lwe mutegeera mwenna sirutegeera bulungi naye nza kugira onaaheereza kanga mulunyankore anjwekere agamba olulimi rwona buli omu rwarikubaza kwetegereza nimanyisa ki ndamenyesha ngo uyu ngiye hani murumuna wanjye avuge mu mwanya wanjye ibyo nakavuze arabimvugira ariko ntaramuho muzindaro ndashaka kuvuga ko mbabaye mushiki wanjye gupfisha umwana w'uburiza na muraje babo niwe buriza bwabo bombi so umwana w'uburiza arakundwa cyane w'uburiza n'ubu nabucura barakundwa cyane so umwana Cedric ari sari nyina bamukundaga cyane nk'uburiza bwabo so nkabamfatanije nabo kubabara gupfusha umwana w'uburiza namubonye akuze yajagazi wacu biharwe akansuhuza n'abana bo n'umucyara we twaganira ugasanga aranyubashye nk'umubyeyi we kandi ugasanga ntanyisha nk'umuntu wo mu cyaro n'uvuye mu town ugasanga aranyegera cyane maze mu magambo make reka mpereze murumuna wanjye uyu nguyu avuge mu mwanya wanjye abatumva urunyarwanda abasoma imbere avugaga murakoze.
Good afternoon, members. It is surprising that I'm a young brother to these old men, but it is what it is, so it's a blessing too. So we are brothers to Sister Olive, I call her Big Sis, and we express our happiness to everybody that came through to be with both Captain and Olive as they send off their son. And by names of Fred Guijema, those are my names, and I recognize everyone in their categories to this function of Cedric. I won't mention all your ranks and positions, but I will recognize all of you. I was at Kololo for a vigil, and I saw most of his friends. It is really good if you have friends with you who can stand for you in your absentia. So Kasuja and the rest of the gentlemen I saw, it is a blessing. Everyone wishes to have friends like you. You know, when you leave, you make yourself happy. When you leave, you make yourself happy. But when you go, like Cedric went, it is the moment that the people you lived with actually make you happy, even when you're not here. So thank you so much for making him happy. We won't say so much. It is a moment of pain to all of us, family, friends, and I'm sure enemies if he had some, you know. Death brings everybody together, even those that never liked you. So we thank you from the deepest point of our hearts. We pray that God blesses you. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much to the uncles and for that very meaningful speech. And may I say that there are very many of Cedric's friends who sacrifice their time and energy to make sure that Cedric gets a send-off, but also to make sure that he's very well taken care of. I'd like to first of all start with Commander 1, as Cedric called him, General Muhoozi Aswalide. General, please stand up. Just give him a round of applause because he stopped at nothing to show his brother that he cared for him. Humphrey Nzei, please stand up. He's been chairing a committee of his friends. The Honorable Galabuzi Dennis, who is in charge of PDM across Uganda. Costa Stamos, his Greek brother. Simon Kaheru. And also here I see Siraj, who has been an associate of Cedric's for the last 20 years. They've been through it all together. Cedric's brand of friendship demanded loyalty, absolute loyalty, nothing but loyalty. And we thank God for the opportunity to see him off like we are right now. Right. At this juncture, I'd like to invite his aunts, led by Auntie Jolie Bunyenyezi and Auntie Daisy Roy, please.
Okay. Thank you. Daisy, you want to start? Thank you very much. Today is a difficult day, but I'll start telling everybody how proud I am of you, Olive. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you for what we see today. Thank you for the unit of today. Thank you so much. Yesterday I stood at the entrance of the church and I greeted everybody who came. And I realized the majority of people who came were aunties of Cedric. Cedric was brought up by a village of ladies, and they are all here. Really, I'm very proud of you, Olive, for having shared your son with us, with all the aunties and the Komshazas as you know them. Thank you very much for that. But also, while Olive was in Nairobi, I went there sat with her for a week, and I saw the Kenyan aunties who came to see her. As you heard, he was born in Nairobi, and Olive always shared her son with all the aunties. So Cedric was brought up by a village of ladies, not literally, but Olive was open to all her friends. Thank you, Captain, too. Captain's house was always full of aunties who were with Olive. When Cedric was born, I'll talk about why I'm jolly, and there are many aunties here who are as special as me. During Amin's time, when Cedric was born, Olive sent me a letter at school because she could not invite her mom to come and nurse her when she had Cedric. She said, "You must come." During Amin's time, it was so hard. But I looked for money, and I think Uncle Dick, who is not with us today, may his soul rest in peace, gave me some little money, and I was able to board a Kamba bus. And I boarded a Kamba bus, and I reached Nairobi very early in the morning. Captain will remember this. And I found I missed Cedric's birth by inches. So I found Olive in hospital, and we started crying. And the ladies who were there wondered, why is she crying? It was both joy and sadness because we were alone. So I saw Cedric as a baby, and I continued to see Cedric as a baby. But when Olive got out of hospital, I was now the nurse mother. She didn't have a mother around to take care of her. So I became, as a young sister, the nurse mother to Olive. I'd like to talk about Daisy Roy and Auntie Resto Toko. She was here, you saw her. These two ladies were great. I think they had babies before Olive, and they were always there to guide us as what we should do with Cedric. We succeeded very well. Cedric became a very healthy boy, and immediately head over heels, the twins came. And that is Yvette and Yvonne. Olive had three triplets at a go. Really, you could not tell the difference. So, imagine three children, babies together. I think the difference is 9 months or 8 months, I don't remember. It's 9 months. But they were the same age, and I decided to take over one child. Who's Yvonne here? She calls me, she's my firstborn. Olive took Yvette, and as they grew up, I looked more like Yvonne, and she looked more like Yvette. So people used to say my firstborn was Yvonne. So really, I've been in Olive's life like she has been in mine, but in those early years of Cedric, Auntie Jolie was a special auntie in their life. When I went to Nairobi the other day, Cedric was so happy to see me. He had been told John is coming, and he came, and he waited for me. I saw him. I'm sorry. Cedric. I saw him, and he was so happy. "Aunt Jolie, you've come." Aunt Jolie, he kept on saying, "Aunt Jolie, you've come," not knowing that Cedric was going. He didn't look like he was going, not at all. Maybe I shouldn't even, Olive would say something, but Cedric was walking. He could take himself to the bathroom. He would talk on his phone with all his friends you see here, and Cedric was talking. On Sunday, I said, let me dash to Kampala and return. Olive called me in the morning and told me, Cedric will not make it. It was heartbreaking that I was not with you, Olive, when Cedric passed. But thank you, Chantal. Chantal was there, and I told Chantal, I'm going to take over Olive. And thank you, Chantal, for that. Susan, thank you so much for having found time and reached Olive and comforted her. I shouldn't take much time. I know we are pressed with time, but all the aunties, let me thank you for Olive. I'll thank all these aunties who are here for you, because I received so many calls. They couldn't find you, and I would answer them for you, and I would thank them for you. And yesterday at church, I managed to hug everybody and thanked everybody as they were coming in. And for the children of Cedric, I was telling Alison, we shall guide these children. We are still young grannies. We have not aged an inch, and we shall guide you with these children. Thank you so much, everybody. That's all I can say. God bless you.
That was very moving, and it's really good to see just how much love and support Mama Olive had at the hospital. She had her girls with her. Auntie Chantal, I see you always there, looking glamorous, but equally supportive. Let's give them a round of applause. By the way, if you think Cedric only had male friends, you need to fix yourself. He also had a lot of female friends. Where are the female friends? Where is Jackie? Where is Muna? The ones who sent me messages threatening my life for just making it a guy's affair. No. Judy, look at Judy. Judy was at the hospital, and Judy is one of those who showed up for Cedric and did everything she could when he needed his friends and his family the most. My condolences to you. Cedric's siblings next. This is going to be tough because Cedric's sisters loved him fiercely, and he loved them back just as fiercely. And his siblings, Yvonne, Yvette, Nisha, Siki, Francis, Edna, please come up and have a word. And The captain tells me there are others, but that's not a statement I want to associate with. Which others? Okay, sir. And the others? I don't want to get into trouble over things.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, I would like to thank you all for coming. We are truly grateful that you've shown up in such great numbers to help us bring our brother home. My heart is heavy as I write this. On Saturday at 2:31 p.m., the world lost a light. Our dear brother. And I lost a piece of myself. He lived, he laughed, he laughed, and in every heartbeat he left behind, he lives still. The moments we shared, the lessons he gave without knowing, and the quiet strength of his presence will echo in me forever. We'll come into this world not knowing how long our path will be, but my brother walked his path with courage and soul. Now he walks ahead into a place beyond pain and time, where peace is no longer a hope, but a home. Rest well, my brother. Until we meet again, beyond the veil, I will carry you in everything that I do. Thank you.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon. Hi, Cedric. One last game, one last journey. My cool big brother. He was one of the biggest people I knew. After my dad, he walked into Nakasero when I was a child and filled the room. The star of the game, the pride of his father and mother, who he loved. As a child, I used to tag along with my older siblings to lots of places. One of them was Kampala Club. I watched him play tennis, and damn, I had to do that as well. Well, I tried, but that's a story of another day. Full of life and the life of a party. Do us proud up there, and keep looking out for your baby sister, who is now really looking for a light in this situation and seeing none. Rest in peace, Cedric. I think you're home now.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for me, growing up with Cedric as my big brother made me feel like the luckiest girl in the world. He was everything I admired: handsome, brilliant, endlessly talented, and somehow, even more than all that, he was kind. I carried that pride with me everywhere we went. He was my big brother, and I loved him with my whole heart. I still remember how I clung to his legs and sobbed every time he left for university in the States. He was off to play tennis, to chase dreams that were bigger than we could even imagine back then. And I was just his baby sister who didn't want to let go. I never really stopped wanting to hold on. We had our rhythm, our own shared secret language, bonding over rap music, especially Tupac. We were drawn to the truth in his words, the rebellion, the rawness of soul. That music was our bridge between thoughts, between generations, and between hearts. Years later, after I finished my first degree and wasn't sure where life would take me, Cedric, being Cedric, did only what he could do. He made room for me in his world. He brought me into his company, Kinetic Management Group, and gave me a title that sounded far more impressive than anything I was doing. Mostly, I think, to get mom off my back. But what he really gave me was time, proximity, presence. And man, am I glad that he did. I got a front row seat to his mind, his creative spark, to his beautiful genius. Beneath the Lies, Friday Night Lights, Kwivuga, whatever he touched, he brought it to life. He lit up every room he entered and somehow always made space for everyone else to shine. We worked hard, but we laughed harder. We celebrated every win, spent money too fast, made plans too big. He'd grown, pretend to be the responsible one, but he always joined in. He always led the way. And during those kinetic days and long after, Cedric was my person, my anchor. We spoke nearly every day, sometimes about work, sometimes just to check in. Even when there was nothing urgent, we'd still end up in each other's space. That was our way. And sometimes we'd say nothing at all and just sit side by side in silence. That kind of peace is so rare. I miss him more than I could put into words. I miss him more than I can bear. When I moved to Nairobi, he came to visit with his sons. And just like that, he became everyone's brother. He stole some of my friends, especially the guys. But that was Sedi, magnetic, generous, so full of love, so full of life. He made everyone feel like they belonged. And then when he got sick and was brought to Nairobi, something even more extraordinary happened. His friends, Simon Bujingo, Alan, Costa, Humphrey, Sam, Gala, Ricky, Andy, Seymour, they didn't just visit, they showed up again and again. They became our family, my bonus brothers. And our sisters, Judy, Kathy, Una, Wendy, Dutch, Sandy, Asmir, Philly, and so many others carried us with tenderness, with strength, with relentless love. They carried the weight we couldn't hold. To each of you who walked us, prayed with us, sat with us, held our pain by loving Cedric, you loved us, and we felt it, every bit of it. I couldn't thank you enough. To our family, our cousins, our sisters, our aunts, our uncles, and our mother, thank you. You stood tall through unbearable heartbreak. You showed up even when it hurt to breathe. Those hospital days were anything but quiet. At one point, I even started taking notes because of the scenes. They were so chaotic, so full of color and character. And you said he would laugh hysterically once he got better. So many strong personalities in one room. Panic, prayer, pacing, arguing, hugging, crying. It was beautiful madness, just like Sedi. And in the center of it all was Cedric, surrounded again, mostly by an army of women, his sisters, his aunts, his cousin. I can almost hear him chuckling, saying, Siki, these people are too much. But all of it, the noise, the tension, the laughter, the prayers, it came from one place. Love. Fierce, undiluted, all-consuming love for our Cedric. His final month wasn't easy, but it was full of presence, full of light, full of people, full of him. His final set, because that's what it really was, the last and most epic battle. We had plans, a barbecue once he got better. He wanted a celebration for all the people who showed up. He wanted to thank each and every one of them. And though that gathering is happening without him now, I know he's smiling. Because if there's one thing Cedric did effortlessly, it was bring people together. Unity, that's his legacy. And perhaps the most beautiful part of that legacy lives on through his 3 sons, my beautiful nephew, for you, always. And I can't speak about Cedric without honoring the woman who loved him first and most, his mother, our mother. Said he was unapologetically a mommy's boy, her only son, the one who made her a mother. Mom, thank you so much for your strength, for your faith, for your love that never wavered. I truly believe Cedric's fight, the reason he held on for as long as he did, was because of you. You gave him everything. You always did. And now we will give everything back to you. We will hold you up the way you held him. I miss my brother. I miss my voice, his quiet wisdom, the way he'd put a hand on my shoulder and say, come on, sis, it'll be okay. I'm here. But he's not. And it's a kind of pain I don't know how to carry. Still, I was there from the first day he came to Nairobi when he landed to the last on May 31st when he took his last breath. And on June 1st, I signed him out and took him to rest. He fought with courage, with dignity, with that quiet, stubborn Cedric strength. And though he will take a piece of me with him, I will carry him in the way I live, in how I love, in how I show up for his boys, for our family, for myself. I will carry every shared laugh, every long talk, every moment of silence that felt like peace, because I will always be his little sister, and he will always, always be my heart. Rest well, my Cedi. You are so loved, and you always, always will be. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anisha, and I'm one of Cedric's little sisters. But truthfully, he wasn't just our big brother. He's our second father, our protector, our calm, our joy, our gahungu. There's so many stories, too many memories, too much love to even capture in one moment. But today, I'll try my best. I remember when Cedi started Friday Night Lights. He'd meet up with his boys at Gatomato, and without fail, complain with a mischievous grin. These girls, I hustle, I make money, and they finish it all in one night. But we knew the truth. He loved it. He loved being our provider, our safe space, our ride or die. He gave without keeping count. He didn't just raise us. He lifted us. He protected us. He carried us through storms we didn't even know were coming. And he extended that love to all of our friends too. If you were loved by us, you were loved by Cedi. Now, one thing, because I think we need to laugh a little bit, one thing Cedi never let us forget was that he was kind of a big deal. He'll tell us, his sisters, that people always said he was the most handsome man in Kampala. And we as sisters would laugh and say, oh, okay, Cedi, calm down. You're not that big of a deal. But now here we are, seeing this sea of people who've come to honor you. It's overwhelming. It's humbling. So today, Cedi, yes, you are quite a big deal. And yes, you're not only the most handsome man, not just in Kampala, but in the world. To Cedi's cousins, aunties, uncles, relatives, thank you. Thank you all so much. We prayed hard. We fought hard. He was the first baby in many of our homes, and he loved reminding us that he was the special one. And he truly was. Just look around. So many of us from so many places, all here for him. Cedi, really were our family's anchor. And our hearts bleed knowing you're gone. To my siblings, I don't know how we're going to move forward without him. But what I do know is we're going to do it together. We've cried, we've held each other, we've stood strong. And I see his spirit in every single one of you. We were his pride, and now we must carry his legacy. To his boys, the Costas, the Humphreys, the Allens, you know who you are. And I'm going to say the sister boys, Judy, Muna, all of you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for doing all you could do to save him, for visiting him, for loving him like only you could. You were such a huge part of his world. And even in losing him, we have gained family, brothers and sisters for life. And I'm so proud to know each one of you. To Alison, my sister, you were a mighty, mighty woman. You stood in the fire with him and you never flinched. You fought with everything you had. You even became a certified doctor. Girl, you did. You gave him comfort and laughter and peace. You made your ways home. Thank you for loving him so deeply and so fearlessly. Thank you for our boys. We will love and protect him with all we've got, Alice, and I can promise you that. Cedi brought joy to everything, even in the things we resisted. I remember when Mom finished the house in Bihare, and would force us to go for the holidays. You know, we'd roll our eyes and complain, but not Cedric. Cedric made it fun. He'd wake up in the morning, music blasting, yelling, Oliver, Oliver, Chiwara, come out and join us onto the balcony like it was a concert. Then the day would unfold, laughter on the veranda, endless stories with our cousins and siblings, and always a dance before we went to bed. And then came the three greatest gifts that he has left us. Amani, Killian, and my baby Shema, my sweet nephews. I look at you and my heart aches. But I also see him, his spirit shining through each of you. Amani, you carry his quiet strength and be calm. Killian, his fierce drive and unshakable determination burn in you. And Shema, you hold his gentle, loving heart. Because of you, Cedric lives on for that, and I am forever grateful. We will try, I promise. We will raise you in his love, carry you in his joy, and remind you every single day how deeply you are loved. You'll never walk alone. Sorry, I'm going on, but sorry. I want to take a moment to speak about the bond between Gahu and Mummy. The man, Cedric, is a true reflection of her love, her strength, and sacrifice. He was an unapologetic mummy's boy, and proudly so, and he never wavered on that. They were a true tag team. Anyone who knew Cedric knew that his mom was the heart of his world. She stood in the center of everything he did and every life he touched. To Mummy, Mama, our rock, thank you. You are his strength, his safety, his everything. Your golden boy, your prince of Bihare. You fought so hard for him. You loved him with a depth that words could never touch. I can't begin to imagine your pain, but I know this. You gave him your all, and he knew it. We all did. We'll try, Mama, to love you, protect you, and be there for you in every single way that he was. To everyone here today, and those who walked with us in this last month, thank you for the prayers, the visits, the love. We have been through a storm, but your love carried us through. Cedric Gahu, thank you. Thank you for the rides, the many laughs, the smile that always warmed my heart. For every time you said, I got you, you truly meant it. I keep replaying those quiet moments in your last days when you'd ask me to scratch your hand as you rested. So simple yet so precious. Thank you for being a fighter. Your strength in those final moments made us fight even harder. Oh, Cedric, we moved mountains to keep you here. You have no idea. Cedric, I hope you're proud. I really do. I'll miss your voice so much. You are kind, you are gentle, you are my heart. You may be gone from our side, but you'll never leave our hearts. We'll speak your name, raise your voice, play your jams, dancing in your honor, and carry your love always and forever. I love you, Gahu.
Today I stand here I don't know what to say. My best friend, my brother, my protector, everything. Said we loved you, but I'm consoled that he left us three precious boys who I will love, treasure all my life. To the brothers I got when Cedric was in for many years, Humphrey, Simon, Costa, Alan, Galabuzi. I'm sorry for protocol, and Muhoozi. Thank you for being his brother. And Judy, Mona, and many others. What touched me is standing by your brother when he needed you the most. I'll miss you coming home to Mommy's house, Mommy, and telling her, Oliver, I've come for food. Oliver, I've come for food. It's Sunday. You promised to make me good food. And of course, Mommy would tease him and say, there's no food for you today. But of course, she always had a special heart for Cedric. Said, you were there for me, and I hope I was there for you. Because I was there, looked after you, and made sure that I showed you my love. To his wonderful boys, I promise I'll be there as one of your aunties. I will always love you. Listen, thank you for being a true fighter, and we will be there to support you. To my best friend and also my mom. Mommy, I know you were gutted, but Mommy, you did what your son needed you to do. You were there for her. I don't even know how we're going to say thank you to you because clapping is not enough. You were everything Cedric needed, and every time Mommy would delay to come to hospital, before he could stop talking, would say, women teased him, where's Mommy? So Mommy would call Mommy and say, boss is asking for you. So Mommy joined the joke and say, tell him Mommy is coming. And she was there. To the aunties, to the cousins who stopped everything, who came to hospital and supported us. I don't know what to say, but Sally, I will always love you. You were the best brother any sister would want to have. I will miss you for the rest of my life, but I will see you in your 3 precious boys. Sally, I love you. I'll always love you. Rest in peace, my brother. I love you so much. Thank you.